All right, hello all my awesome Math 7 students. This is Miss Turner. It is Monday, day 21 of quarter 4. We are like 5 weeks away from the end of the school year. I know it's been crazy with all this distance learning, but I just wanted to tell you guys how awesome a lot of you have been doing. So please keep up the hard work. Do not slowly start quitting because your grade still counts. So remember that progress report cards are going to be turned in this Wednesday by your teachers, so make sure that you are turning in all your missing assignments. So when your parents get the progress report card, they see that you are participating, because if you're not, your parents will find out with the progress report card. So please take care of any missing assignments. All right, so this week we are moving on with new content. We are going to be learning about the volume of a prism. So remember, when you are watching this puzzle, you are copying down the notes and you are doing the examples as we go along. I need your first name, last name, date, and period. Title, chapter 9.5, volume of a prism. You're going to need to write down the formula, the area formulas, the steps, and then we have these examples that we're going to be going over. So let's get started. All right, so here's the worksheet we're going to be working on as a whole. If you could print this, great. If not, don't worry. That's why we show the template on how to do it on your notebook. But just remember, here you can find the steps, the area formulas, the formula of volume, and all that stuff. So if you ever need this worksheet or the template, remember I do attach it to the Edpuzzle as a PDF that you can always reference to later in the lesson. All right, so our main topic this week we're trying to figure out is, what is volume? Well, volume is the measure of the amount of space inside a solid, but it is a 3D object. So it is very similar to area, but instead of a 2D object, we are dealing with 3D. So 3D, think real life, like your soda, that's a 3D object. Your cereal box, that is a 3D object. So when measuring these 3D objects, we are going to be measuring in cubic measurements. So right here on the side, I showed you an example of what these measurements are going to look like. So I will expect you guys to be measuring your prisms like this. So we have centimeters cubed, inches cubed, meters cubed, right? So we're going to measure everything now cubed because we're dealing with 3D objects. Real quick, I just want to show you guys that we have rectangular prisms, so that's something like a cereal box. We have triangular prisms. As you can see, this has a triangle in it. That's why it's a triangular prism. And then we also have our trapezoidal prisms. As you can see, the base is a trapezoid. We went over this a couple weeks ago, so that's why it's trapezoidal, triangular, and a rectangle prism. All right, next thing I wanted to go over are some real life examples. A rectangular prism, like I said, you have your cereal box, your tissue box. A lot of things are triangular prisms, presents, Amazon box, so on. We have a triangular prism. So Toblerone is a type of chocolate. I don't know if any of you have tried it before, but as you can see, it has a triangle and it's a 3D shape. And then we also have our trapezoidal prism. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like some type of chocolate, but as you can see, we have our trapezoid right there. So here are some real life examples. I challenge you guys to look around your house and see if you can find a rectangular prism, a triangular prism, and a trapezoidal prism, just like items that are sitting in your house. All right, next thing we need to go over is the formula itself. So please listen very carefully. This might be a little confusing at first, but I'll try to explain it as best as I can. So here is the formula for volume in general. So this is in general. This is not for specific shapes. This is in general. Volume equals big B times big H. Now listen, this is really important. Big B is the area of the base, so I'll explain that. But if we're dealing with a triangular prism, we want to find the area of a triangle. If we're dealing with a rectangular prism, we want to find the area of a rectangle. So big B is different. It's the area of the base, and then we have big H, which is the height of the prism itself, okay? So it's the height of the prism itself. I will explain that a little bit more later. So we have big B, the area of the base, and we have big H, which is the height of the prism itself. And then remember, you need to be writing this formula down, and also you really should be writing down the formulas of all the areas because we're going to be needing to use these. That's why we reviewed these over the last couple weeks. So we have rectangular, okay, that's area is base times height, and then we have our triangular, which is 0.5 times base times height, and then we have our trapezoid, which is 0.5 times base 1 plus base 2 times height. So we're going to need each of these formulas in order to find the volumes. So remember, this is the formula for the area of the base. We're finding the space inside a 2D shape, but we're going to need each of these formulas in order to find the volume. So please make sure you write these down because these are super important. And that is why we reviewed the different areas over the last 2 weeks before this, so you guys were familiar with it. Okay, real quick, I want to go over the steps. They're a little bit different than finding the surface area, so please be aware. Step 1, we need to identify the base of the prism. So we need to identify what kind of prism we're dealing with. Is it triangular, rectangular, or is it a trapezoid? So that's really important. Step 2, we're going to create the formula because each formula is going to be different depending on the shape we're dealing with. So we're dealing with a rectangle. It's going to be different than when we deal with a triangle. And then we need to identify the values, so we'll go through all the values like we did before. We then substitute them into the formula, and then we need to apply PEMDAS. So remember, that's parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. That's order of operations. So which order are we going to do it in? So again, I'll say that one more time. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And then last but not least, we must label. Some of you have been losing points because you don't label. So remember, this time we're dealing with stuff that's cubed. So you're going to see like centimeters cubed, inches cubed. So those are the 6 steps you should be writing down right now. All right, so here we go. Here's example 1. I'm just going to go through each step like we did when finding the surface area, but I can't stress it enough how important it is to go through each step just step by step and making sure that you're copying down the work just like mine is structured, because organization and structure is really important, because if you misplace a value, that's when we're going to start making mistakes. So please make sure you have everything just like mine is. All right, so we need to identify the base of the prism. So as you can see, so the base of our prism is a rectangle. As you can see right here, I'm going to fill it in. That is a rectangle. So if we know the base is a rectangle, now I need to find out what area formula I'm going to use. So I come over here. I need to find the area formula for a rectangle. So I need to use area equals base times height. All right, so we discovered that the area of the base is base times height. So remember, volume equals base times height. So now we need to create our formula. So we have volume equals big B. Well, we said big B is the area of the base. So the area of our base is base times height. So instead of putting the big B, I'm going to put little b times h. So I've just created the formula. I said volume equals little b times little h times big H. So now I'm going to go to step 3, which is identify the values of the prism. So if we're just looking at the rectangle ourselves, our little h is 3 meters. And the base of our rectangle is 4 meters. And then the height of the whole prism, remember we're looking at the whole prism itself, is going to be 5 meters. All right, so I identified all the values as you can see, and then now we need to substitute the values into the formula. So instead of putting the letters, I just put the formula as a template and I put blank little spaces where I'm going to put the values instead. So we said that our little b, our base for the rectangular, is 4 meters, and then we said the height of the rectangle is 3 meters, and then remember, the height of the whole prism is 5 meters. So now I substitute all my values in. We did step 4. And now I need to apply order of operations. So let's go ahead and just multiply everything all the way through because that's all we have to do. So what's 4 meters times 3 meters times 5 meters? So that's going to give me a total of volume equals 60 meters now cubed. Because look, we did meters times meters times meters. That's 3 meters. So that's 60 meters cubed. So there we go. We found the volume of the rectangular prism. So, all right. So the volume of this rectangular prism is 60 meters cubed. All right, I want you to try number 2 on your own. It's almost the exact same thing as number 1, just different numbers. So please just follow the structure and the process I did for number 1. I know it may be a little bit overwhelming and a lot at once, but it really is just following these 6 steps. So go through the step process like I did. Maybe rewatch me doing number 1 so you have a better understanding, but it literally is the exact same thing but different numbers. So just follow the structure and just plugging in different numbers. All right, so let's look at example 3. So I'm just going to try to go through the steps fairly quickly so I don't make this video too long. So let's go to step 1. We need to identify the base of the prism. So if you're looking at this prism, we have a triangle right here. So our base is a triangle. And we need to come over here and look at the area formulas and see which one works for the base of a triangle. So as you can see right here, we need to use 0.5 times b times h. All right, so step 1 is done. We decided that the base of the prism is a triangle, and then we discovered that the area for a triangle is 0.5 times little b times little h. And now step 2, we need to create the formula. Okay, so remember, volume of a prism is volume equals big B, which represents the area of the base, times h. So what is the area of our triangle base? Well, it's right there. All right, so my whole formula is 0.5 times little b times little h times big H. So step 2 is done. Now we need to move on to step 3, which is identify the values of the prism. All right, so the base of the triangle itself is 10 millimeters, and the height of the triangle is 12 millimeters, and then the height of the entire prism is 14 millimeters. All right, so step 3 is done. We identified the values of the prism, and now we need to move on to step 4, which is substitute the values into the formula. So little b is 10 millimeters, so I'm going to put 10 millimeters there, and little h is 12 millimeters, and our big H, which is the height of the entire prism, is 14 millimeters. So as you can see, this is why it is so important to keep everything organized, because it starts to get a little confusing. And then step 5, we need to apply order of operations. So as you can see, we're just dealing with multiplication. So we're going to multiply all the way through. So if you plug this into your calculator, 0.5 times 10 millimeters times 12 millimeters times 14 millimeters will give you the total volume of 840 millimeters cubed. Because remember, we multiplied millimeters 3 times. So now we're dealing with things that are cubed. So the total volume of this prism is 840 millimeters cubed. All right, so I want you to do number 4 on your own. Please use number 3 as an example. So just follow the same steps, same process that I did as number 3. It's almost the exact same thing, but just different numbers. So follow the same structure and same process. All right, here we go. Here's example 5. So let's just go through these steps again. So step 1 is identify the base of the prism. So if you're looking at this prism, I want to look at the base, and we're dealing with a trapezoid. So this time we're dealing with a trapezoid. So step 1 is done. So now I need to look at my area formulas and decide which one I'm going to use for the base of a trapezoid. So I see right here's trapezoid. We're going to use area equals 0.5 times base 1 plus base 2 times your height. All right, so now we need to do step 2, which is create the formula. So remember, the formula for volume of a prism is big B, which is the area of the base, times H. So what is the area of this base? Well, our base is a trapezoid, and the area of a trapezoid is 0.5 times base 1 plus base 2 times height. So I'm going to substitute this right into here. All right, so there's the formula I'm going to be using, and now we need to identify the values of the prism. So now we're on step 3. So let's go ahead and identify our different values. All right, so remember we have 2 bases here. So if you're looking at the trapezoid, the base on the top is going to be 4 feet, and the base at the bottom is 6 feet. Then the height of the trapezoid itself is 4 feet, and the height of the entire prism is 9 feet. All right, so step 3 is done. We identified the values of the prism, and now we need to do step 4, which is substitute the values into the formula. So for base 1, we say that's 4 feet. Base 2 is going to be 6 feet. Our little h is going to be 4 feet, and our big H is 9 feet. All right, so step 4 is done. Now we're moving on to step 5. It says apply order of operations. This is where the order of operations really is important because remember it's PEMDAS, so P for parentheses, and that's why we have to be careful of these parentheses. So as you can see, we have our parentheses right here. So we need to do whatever inside the parentheses first, the innermost parentheses. So I need to add first before I do anything right here. So what's 4 feet plus 6 feet? That's going to give me 10 feet. So be careful with that step right there. We need to make sure we do whatever inside these parentheses first. So we need to add first, just like we did when finding the area of the trapezoid. So now that we added, we can multiply all the way through. So if you take your calculator and you multiply 0.5 times 10 feet times 4 feet times 9 feet, it will give you the volume of 180 feet cubed, because we multiplied feet 3 times. So the volume of this trapezoidal prism is 180 feet cubed. Alrighty, so on your own, I need you to do problems 2, 4, and 6. Please use examples 1, 3, 5 as a resource. It's super important because number 1 is exactly like number 2, but different numbers. The same for 3 and 4 and the same for 5 and 6. So if you ever get overwhelmed, because I know it's like 3 different types, but really it's just staying focused, making sure that you label everything appropriately, and making sure that you have the correct structure. So follow my structure. Your piece of paper should look almost identical to the work I have been doing here. If you have any questions, please send me an email or a quick text. I'll totally respond to you. I hope this helps clarify a few things for you, Miss Turner.